The Local Haunt, Episode 101, pilot by Sean and Sinéad Persaud. Cold open, interior museum, day. On the wall is a painting of an old-timey sailor standing in the crow's nest of a ship. He looks triumphantly into the distance. The wind ruffles the flag above him.
Ferdinand Magellan was the first person to travel around the world. Except he wasn't. What really happened was a bit more complicated.
The painting slowly becomes real, fading into Exterior Museum of History's day. Our sailor is a jovial 20-year-old dude in pirate garb looking triumphantly up at his phone. He's taking a selfie. This is Outside Guy, a museum employee who will be a different person in each episode. The ship and ocean behind him are a poorly rendered diorama in a showroom window. A sign above him reads, "Welcome to the New England Museum of History's Take the Tour, the History Channel calls, open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
In 1519, Magellan organized the first trip that successfully circumnavigated the world. But he died on the way, and the trip was finished by Juan Sebastian Elcano, who no one has ever heard of.
Oliver Moon, 26, walks up to the janky New England Museum of History's. Tacky paintings of pirates, witches, vampires, and Illuminati symbols decorate the exterior. Caution tape is strung up over the window. Oliver smiles, taking in the sight. Outside Guy catches Oliver from the corner of his eye.
Sorry, bro, one sec. I'm just really feeling these filters. Okay, done. Interested in the tour of our informative and adequately ventilated museum? Curious about pirates on the New England coast, the witch hysteria, or the vampire panic of...
It's fine, actually. I know about all that. I used to work here.
Oh, a history guy, huh? You ever read the Da Vinci Code? Oh, do you work for one of those paranormal activity shows? Dope.
I just said I used to work here.
Oh yeah, I know your face. Your photo's on the website.
He pulls up his phone and brings up a photo of 17-year-old Oliver mid-blink dressed as a 19th century fisherman.
It you, bro.
Oh, are we still doing that? Yeah, it me.
Kind of look like an ethnically ambiguous Natalie Portman.
Actually, Natalie Portman is an ethnically ambiguous Natalie Portman. There's some polarizing discourse on whether Ashkenazis are...
This is great. Just do it again, but I want to use the giraffe barfing filter this time. I'm gonna boom it for the Insta.
Oliver reluctantly obliges, smiling broadly and giving a thumbs up.
Sometimes a homecoming is a historic occasion, celebrated and recorded for posterity.
Outside Guy holds the picture up to Oliver. The photo caption reads, "Historic barf." Oliver has giraffe ears and is barfing a rainbow.
And sometimes you're Juan Sebastian Elcano.
Act 1. Interior, Museum of History's gift shop. Moments later, Oliver enters to utter pandemonium. The museum phone rings, despite Rosemary 50's A Sweet Lady pulled from a Norman Rockwell painting, holding the receiver to her ear.
Hello? Hello? Hi, how is it still ringing? Hello? Is anyone there? Excuse me, knock twice if you're there. Hello?
She bangs on the keyboard as Tohm, 20s, every theater kid you've ever met, runs by with a broom.
There's a bat in here!
He runs by Mabel, 20s, frazzled, who is using a blowtorch to burn the tops of a tray of creme brulee as they all ignite.
Oh, God.
Frank, ageless, weird, saws a plank of wood. Tohm runs by waving the broom.
Frank, stop sawing that wood!
Rosemary now somehow has two phones. She puts a pair of reading glasses on and peers at the keys.
Okay, the buttons are getting smaller. The buttons are getting smaller.
Tohm pulls out a gigantic Jolly Roger flag from the wall, causing framed pictures and a shelf of artifacts to come crashing down. He wields the flag like a net.
Oh, you're in for a cave rodent!
Mabel douses the fire with a jar of liquid, and it flares up. She squints at the label on the jar.
Hey guys, what does pure grain alcohol stand for?
Frank is now hammering the beam.
Excuse me, hi. Yeah, can I put you on hold? Frank, hon, could you please stop hammering the wood?
Frank tosses the hammer, shattering something off screen, and immediately pulls out a chainsaw. He revs the chainsaw. Oliver takes in the scene and charges forward. He unplugs the chainsaw, grabs the flag from Tohm, and smothers the fire.
There's no bat, that's just the shadow of the ceiling fan.
Oliver jumps behind the counter and grabs the phone from Rosemary, pressing a button. Both phones stop ringing.
The Museum of Histories is open 10 to 5, Monday through Friday. Please call back during business hours and we'd be happy to help you.
He hangs up and smiles. Mabel and Tohm look suspicious. Rosemary quietly applauds.
Hi guys, I'm Oliver and that's how it's done.
I'm sorry. Who are you?
I used to work here in high school and now I'm your new manager. I just graduated from Princeton as a history major, and I'm thrilled that Ellen lured me back here to fix this place up. And there is a lot to fix. Most pressingly, the sprinklers. Those should have gone off by now.
The sprinklers go off, dousing everyone.
Stop, drop, and roll!
She rolls around on the ground. Outside the Museum of Histories, later that morning, clipboard in hand, Oliver stands with outside guy.
So, I'm just shadowing each of you to get a feel for how you go about your work. Pretend I'm not even here.
A family of tourists approach the museum. Oliver watches.
Sup, fam? You're craving some knowledge about the invention of the printing press?
Oh, was it invented in this town?
Actually, I have no idea, but I can Google it for you.
Outside guy takes out his phone.
Oh, wait, no, I can't. I plowed through my data this month. Can you Google it instead?
The tourists leave perplexed. Outside guy turns to Oliver.
How'd I do?
Oliver starts to say something and then shakes his head. Interior, tour room 1, pirates. Later, Oliver stands with a couple of tourists, including some children, watching Tom's tour.
Good day! Welcome to the Museum of Histories. I'm Tom. I'll be your tour guide. Before we start learning about pirates, witches, and werewolves, I'd like to let you all know that I'm starring in the Walchester Community College production of Spring Awakening, and I have some discount coupon admissions for all of you.
Tohm procures flyers out of nowhere and hands them out. Oliver shakes his head and marks his clipboard.
And to wet your whistle, I thought I'd give you all a little preview. Frank, 4/4 G major, heavy on the downbeat. You know what to do.
Frank stands in the corner with a keytar and hits some notes randomly. Tohm launches into the chorus from Totally Fucked from Spring Awakening with bleeps as Oliver panics.
Totally fucked.
Interior, Museum of History's gift shop. Later, Oliver writes notes on his clipboard as Rosemary types away on a computer behind the gift shop counter.
Well, I was thinking of updating the POS system, and I wanted to know
Oliver, if you were going to go to a ball thrown by your stepfather who was trying to steal your inheritance, but you were desperately in love with the handsome Highlander celebrating a recent war victory, would you wear red?
Excuse me?
I'm editing my romance novel. I just want a romance opinion.
Is that really an appropriate use of work hours?
A tourist approaches the counter with a stack of postcards.
Sweetie, if you were invited to your stepfather's ball that he was throwing...
Interior tour room 6. Later, Mabel addresses a group of tourists on a fake ship's deck next to a crappy werewolf.
And that is how Snooky Salazar became a werewolf. Now, before you leave, I'd like you to try these and see if you can tell which one was freshly made by me and which one was made by my frenemies at Stover's.
Reveal a table in the center of the tour room with 2 plates of carrot cake. Tourists are lined up with blindfolds on. Oliver bangs his head against the wall. The wall gives in. It's very poorly painted cardboard. Interior, Museum of History's gift shop. Later, Frank stands awkwardly behind a rack of postcards as Oliver looks over his notes.
Frank, I know you jump out at people at the end of the tour, but I think it's time we figure out what your role is here.
I'm the human resource.
One human resource, singular? No, you're not. Look, when I worked here before, there was some confusion about whether or not you were technically employed.
Oh, you worked here before?
Yes, it's me, Oliver. I worked here with you like 8 years ago.
Oh, you moved to Cleveland, right?
No,
And then Miami.
not at all.
And then back to Cleveland.
Again, no.
Yes! And you were the best high school basketball player in generations.
Frank, I gotta say, it sounds like you're describing LeBron James.
I love your latest sneakers.
Charlotte, 25, tomboyish, runs in.
Sorry I'm late. Apparently the bus system took our stop off the line.
I hate buses. The plural of buses is buses with one S. Come on.
Charlotte notices a pile of wet ash.
Was there a fire? Rosemary?
I believe so. You don't know if there was a fire.
Who are you?
Oliver Moon.
Oliver holds up his phone, showing her the picture of him on the website. Tom gasps.
It's Natalie Portman.
Charlotte?
Oliver? It's been forever. What are you doing here?
I'm back in town for a bit. Just graduated from Princeton. Ellen asked me to come turn this place around, just chillin' and whatnot, you know, boom it for the Insta. What are you still doing here?
What do you mean still?
Oh, I just thought, didn't you want to go to school for astronomy?
Yeah, well, here I am, booming it for the Insta.
Ellen, 50s brash, enters, chomping down on a cigarette. She levels a withering gaze around the room.
I have our Chamber of Commerce inspection time. This Friday, 2 p.m.
Outside guy runs in.
Guys, Ellen's coming. Oh, never mind.
Oliver, there you are. How's your first day back been?
Ellen, hi. Oh boy, it's been a day. I've compiled a binder of things we need to address. Firstly, the lack of fire extinguishers. Secondly, everything. I think maybe we ought to have a staff meeting to discuss our budget for the remodel.
What are you on about? What remodel? I hired you to be our new outside guy.
She yells to the outside guy.
Hey, you! You're fired.
Chill.
Outside guy strolls out the door.
Excuse me, what?
You remember how it is here, champ. Start from the bottom, work your way up to, I don't know, wherever. Charlotte, my office, we need to talk.
Oliver's stunned as Ellen and Charlotte leave. Interior Museum of History's break room. Moments later, Charlotte relaxes as Ellen paces.
Karen Martin from the Chamber is coming to review us on Friday. We'll need to distract her from the mold, cardboard walls, general lack of structural integrity.
Don't forget the ghosts of those Revolutionary War soldiers.
Yeah, sure, those guys too.
One of them's a girl.
Frank, why are you here? Go away. If Karen decides not to put us in the Chamber's official guide...
Interior Museum of History's gift shop continuous. Tom finishes the thought for Oliver's benefit.
We're through. It's the only way we get traffic here. If we're not in the guide, it's only a matter of time till Ellen has to shut it down. It'll go back to being an abandoned news factory.
Actually, it was a brothel where 17 prostitutes were brutally murdered by New England's first serial killer, Archibald the Rascal.
Did you just actually mean?
Ooh, smart guy alert. Just come in here and take over. Never mind the fact that we've been working in the trenches. You think I wouldn't want to be the manager?
Would you?
Absolutely not, no. But it would be nice to be asked.
Guys, I just want to make this place better. For your sakes, too.
If you hate it so much, why don't you work at the Essex Institute, where they have real facts and working bathrooms?
No. Look, this is all a misunderstanding. I'll just go straighten it out with Ellen.
He leaves. Frank rises up from behind a shelf.
I found a dead rat. I named it Daryl Hannah.
Frank, what are you doing here?
Honestly, I don't know where to go.
Interior Museum of History's break room. Moments later, Oliver enters.
There's our new outside guy.
Yes, about that.
We should get some administrative stuff out of the way. You don't have any outstanding restraining orders or anything, right?
Wait.
It's fine if you do.
No,
Are you allowed within 1,000 feet of school zones? You know what? The less I know, the better.
I can't be outside guy.
So you are a sex offender. Got it. Look, hon, we all make mistakes.
No, that's... Ellen, I came back here to be manager. I've paid my dues here. I majored in history. I have a college degree, for God's sake. I can't be outside guy.
Wow. Okay, yeah, I get it.
Everyone turns to see outside guy.
I thought you left.
Yeah, I came back to get my stuff. In hindsight, it was pretty dumb to just immediately leave after getting fired, but I guess that's because I don't have a college degree.
Oh, that's not what I meant.
Oliver, at least give the man this last dignity. He was just fired.
You fired him.
Everyone shushes Oliver.
Thank you.
A long, awkward silence as outside guy gathers all of his many belongings scattered everywhere. He takes food from the pantry and keeps dropping things. He starts to leave.
I feel bad.
Outside guy holds up his phone and vlogs on his way out.
Sup guys, me again. You know what feel you get when you get fired and you decide to get the biggest burrito you can find and just house it?
He finally leaves.
Look, I know what I want to do with my life. You need me to make this the best museum it can be.
The best museum? I'm not running an Epcot Center here. This place has been making me easy money for 30 years, and there is no reason to change what's working.
Well, then, I guess I quit.
Oliver walks out, stunned at himself. After a beat, outside guy sticks his head in.
Hey, you guys want anything? I'm gonna Grubhub it.
Interior, office. Later. A severe-looking man, 50s, in a green eye-shade visor and suspenders, takes off his glasses and massages his temples.
Oh, this is not good news, Oliver. Minus this cash flow, you only have savings to cover 1 month of rent, and that's with a conservative estimate of extraneous expenses.
Oliver holds up a spreadsheet on an iPad.
I think I can stretch that to 3 months using this budget.
Oliver, you know we only use Excel, and my acceptance of your lease was contingent on proof of employment. If I'd known you would be jobless.
It's only temporary, and Numbers has some really good features.
I really wish I didn't have to do this. I'm sorry, Oliver, but you've got 30 days to find alternate lodging.
A lady, 50s, appears in the doorway.
Dinner's ready, boys. Prime rib and potatoes.
The man pumps his fist.
I love potatoes.
See you right there, Mom.
These are Oliver's parents. Reveal they are sitting in Oliver's childhood bedroom, untouched since high school, Rent and Phantom Menace posters. You get the gist.
Dad, listen, I can absolutely...
Oliver, did you hear your mother? There are potatoes downstairs.
Moon dining room. Moments later, Oliver and his parents eat mid-conversation.
It's just insulting. I've worked so hard to get where I am. I know exactly what I want to do, and I need 4 years of museum management experience to do it. The Met is never going to hire me now. I'll just be another Walchester burnout with no purpose in life.
Well, maybe you can get that experience at the Essex Institute. Perhaps your purpose is over there.
Dr. Oz says potatoes have more potassium than bananas.
Doesn't that girl you dated in high school work there? Paige?
Paige? Yeah, I didn't date her. She hated me. I got valedictorian over her.
Sounds like romance to me.
He squeezes his wife's hand and they smile at each other.
I don't know.
Oliver, 30 days.
All right. I'll swing by tomorrow.
Act 2. Interior Essex Institute lobby day. The Essex Institute is the opposite of the Museum of Histories in every way. The lobby is tastefully decorated. Distinguished tourists mill about with espressos and wine. Under a giant sign reading the Essex Institute and Historical Estates, Oliver enters, carrying a leather portfolio. He nervously approaches the guest relations desk. The receptionist, Gray, 20s, peers up at him.
Hi, I have a meeting with Paige.
Gray presses a button on his Bluetooth.
Gray for Paige. I have your 12:30. Yeah, I copy. Oh my God, you're bad. Yeah, I'll send him right in.
Oliver smiles expectantly.
Master will see you now.
Interior Paige's office, moments later, close on the nameplate, Paige Master. On a mod glass desk, everything in the office is wicked tasteful. Paige Master, 26, rocks a sleek, angular bob haircut and pink power suit with cape sleeves. She wears a VR headset as Oliver enters.
Paige?
Paige delicately removes the headset.
How rude am I? Just testing out our new VR tour that's in beta. Soon, education departments from all over the globe will have access to our prodigious collection of artifacts and exhibits with the touch of a button and this $25,000 headset.
Wow, that is so cool. So how are you, Paige? It's been like 8 years?
Or 2,920 days, if math is your thing. It's kind of my thing.
Paige rises and gives Oliver a hug that somehow involves no physical contact.
You were very good at math, I remember. So last time I saw you, you were Paige Turner.
Paige holds up her hand, showing off a ring.
He's running for office and always traveling. We see each other maybe once a month. I almost forgot what he looked like once, but then I accidentally looked at a picture.
She trails off, sad.
So where did you end up going to school, Oliver?
Majored in history with a concentration in early American colonialism at Princeton.
Oh, PU? How fun for you. That's so... what are the kids calling it these days?
We're the same age.
Meme? Oh my God, that's so meme.
Look, I'll just be honest. I'm looking for a job, and I think the Essex would be a great fit. You're dedicated to education and the community, and look at this headset.
He tries to pick it up.
Please don't touch that.
Sorry, it's just, I went back to the Museum of Histories, and it's a joke. The Chamber of Commerce is about to review them for the guide, and they're toast. But the Essex, I love what you do here. I want to be a part of it.
Oliver Moon. Oliver Moon. I have been waiting for this day for 8 years.
You have?
The opportunity to help out my only academic equal, lucky me, and lucky you, It just so happens we're starting interviews tomorrow, and you are invited. Congratulations!
They shake hands. Oliver beams.
Wear breathable clothes you can move in. Also, do you have any back problems, improv experience, or outstanding restraining orders?
Off Oliver's look. Interior Moon Kitchen later that afternoon. Mr. and Mrs. Moon play Scrabble as Oliver walks in.
Hey, guys.
DISAPPOINTMENT. Disappointment.
Not anymore. I think the Essex Museum gig is in the bag.
Yay!
That's not a dictionary accepted word. You forfeit your turn.
In fact, here's an advance on next month's rent.
OVERDRAWN, triple word score.
Exterior rooftop of the Essex Institute. The next day, a group of 10 men and women in hip sportswear stretch. Oliver wears a Princeton shirt and sweatpants, confused. Paige walks among them, wearing a fitted dress and pillbox hat. She's accompanied by Dodge, 30s, a hulking muscle man.
Essex Institute prospective candidates, welcome to the gauntlet. Do you have what it takes to be a part of our world-class team? First, fitness portion.
A schlubby guy, 40, in a head sweatband, raises his hand.
Hi, what does this have to do with working as a museum archivist?
Dodge blows a whistle. Paige walks up to the guy.
Candidate 7, you are eliminated.
Paige pulls out an old-fashioned pistol out of nowhere, aims it at Candidate 7. Everyone reacts scared. She flips it around so the handle faces him.
And could you drop this off in the Revolutionary War bungalow? It'll take me forever to get down there in these heels.
Candidate 7 takes the gun and walks away.
Now, let's begin.
Interior museum stairwell. Later, 9 candidates run up and down the spiral staircase. Paige stands on a balcony above them holding a clipboard. Dodge stands next to her with a stopwatch.
The ideal museum archivist can deliver intricate answers to any question while walking crisply from errand to errand. To that end, you will be running up and down these stairs while listing Zhao dynasty emperors in chronological order.
The candidates start running. Dodge blows the whistle on a straggler. Gymnasium. Later, Greek marble busts on pedestals fill the room. Down to 4 candidates now.
Candidates must save as many busts from falling. Go.
Oliver runs through the maze, catching busts as Dodge knocks them over. Dodge blows his whistle on 2 more candidates. Interior Paige's office day. Paige sits behind her desk. Dodge stands behind her at attention. Only 2 candidates remain, Oliver and Candidate 10, 20s, a determined girl who has barely broken a sweat.
Traditional interview portion. To work at the Essex, candidates need at least 1 year of field experience. Candidate 10.
I just returned from my study abroad graduate program where I was a translator at the Hermitage Museum in St. Petersburg.
Languages spoken?
4, including conversational ASL.
Oliver's eyes widen.
Hopes and dreams.
Oh, to be on the cover of Smithsonian Magazine. Tastefully casual. I'm in a leather armchair, holding a cactus and smiling like this.
Candidate 10 cheeses majorly. Paige loves it.
Candidate 1.
Well, as you know, I worked at the New England Museum of Histories back in high school.
You've gone 70,080 hours without museum experience.
Well, I've been a TA for over a dozen history classes. I speak Chinese when I've had a few drinks.
Not even a romance language?
I'm sorry, Oliver. Requirements are requirements.
Dodge whistles and points at Oliver.
Congratulations, Candidate 10. You may tell me your given name now.
I like Candidate 10. It has a nice ring to it.
Dodge, escort her to reception to have her compass engraved.
Dodge and Candidate 10 leave. Paige stands holding wine.
Oliver Moon. Perhaps now you know how it feels to work your entire life for something, only to have it taken away from you. I did everything. I had too many extracurriculars for Harvard. When did you have time for yourself, Paige?
Paige cries manically. Oliver stares at her, dumbfounded.
You're still mad that I got valedictorian over you? I was never anything but nice to you. I even let you copy my homework that one time your dog actually ate your homework in 5th grade.
Chauncey liked math too.
You know how hard it was to ask you for help? You've got everything. I've got a complimentary button.
He looks at a button that reads, "Had a blast in the past at the Essex Institute." Paige sighs.
You're right. You're right, Oliver. I'm sorry. I've clearly been harboring some jealousy, and I'm not proud of it. I can't change anything here, but I might have an idea for you. You remember Cahill Montgomery?
He was my favorite teacher.
Paige takes his phone and enters a number into it.
The finest history teacher in the world. Here's his number. I'm positive he'll be able to help you.
Interior, Moon living room. Later, Mr. and Mrs. Moon watch television.
I don't trust Dr. Oz. He looks like Ramsay Bolton's dad.
Like the actor who plays Ramsay Bolton's dad?
No, he looks like he could be Ramsay Bolton's dad if he had a dad.
Ramsay Bolton does have a dad, and an actor already plays him.
Oh, I see what's happened here.
Oliver enters.
I'm gonna need that check back.
Mrs. Moon hands back the check.
You didn't cash it yet?
Honey, we get a $30 fine if a check bounces.
29 days, Oliver.
Interior, Oliver's bedroom. Moments later, he sits on his bed with a sigh, then pulls out his phone and dials a number.
Mr. Montgomery? It's Oliver Moon. Yeah, Princeton. So, I'm back in town and I'm looking... You do? That's amazing. Right now? Old Burial Hill Cemetery? Yeah, that's halfway between here and school. See you soon.
Interior, Moon living room. Moments later, Mr. Moon squints up at his phone as Oliver re-enters with a spring in his step.
Here's that check again, and the only thing bouncing is this guy, all the way to meet my old history teacher who says he has a job for me. Look out, world.
He hands his mom the check and leaves.
Michael McAlhatton.
What else has he been in?
Exterior, Old Burial Hill Cemetery. Later that afternoon, Oliver approaches a gazebo, eyes darting around nervously.
Meet at a cemetery? Why would that be weird? This is a normal place to meet a person, or a ghost.
Something taps Oliver's shoulder. He shrieks.
Infernal entities be damned!
He turns around. It's Charlotte.
Sorry.
Charlotte, I mean, I knew it was obviously an alive human being because ghosts aren't real.
What?
It's fine, never mind. I'm just being weird. Just a weirdo hanging around a bunch of dead bodies. What are you doing here?
Visiting my dad's grave?
Oh, geez, I'm sorry, I didn't know.
He had cancer. Mom was having a hard time, so I postponed the whole college thing indefinitely. Wasn't the plan exactly, but whatever. Why'd you come back to Walchester?
I applied for my dream job at the Met, and they turned me down. I need 4 years of experience in upper management before they'll even consider me.
Wow, look at you. Ritzy galas in the big city. You got a nice gown?
You have any I can borrow?
I work at the Museum of Histories. It's a wonder I even own pants. So, why the urge to visit a cemetery?
Weirdly enough, also to visit your dad's grave.
He thinks this is cute. It is not.
Nope. I'm actually meeting my old high school history teacher. He said he had a job for me. He's great. Really inspired me to pursue history. He basically gave me the blueprint for my life.
A pile of burlap sacks on a bench next to the gazebo stirs.
Infernal entities be damned!
Dude.
Cahill Montgomery, 40s, emerges from the pile disheveled.
Did somebody say...
Oliver and Charlotte wait for the end of this sentence.
Mr. Montgomery? What's going on?
I'm just taking a breather from my job. Burying people who took a breather for breathing.
Oliver and Charlotte stare.
I'm the grave digger on how Ollie. Pretty apropos, eh? The history teacher burying people who are now history.
Well, I'm gonna go.
Maybe a good idea.
She walks off.
Bye, friend.
Okay.
Why aren't you teaching?
Strap in for a sad tale, Oliver. I was up for a tenured position at Essex State University, but I needed experience as a department head at the high school. Principal Harrison wouldn't give it to me, even though I clearly deserved it.
Huh, that sounds...
It was just insulting. I worked so hard to get where I was, and I knew exactly what I wanted to do.
familiar.
The whole situation opened my eyes. If you do a little digging, you can find out all the stuff they don't want you to know. The CIA, the Freemasons, my cat. For instance, you know the pyramids?
Heard of them?
Built by aliens. That's why they're so funny.
Oh boy.
So I stopped teaching. Well, technically I was fired. I don't know if you could hear it in my tone, but I said fired in quotes. I should use the air quotes. Life is so full of tiny regrets.
I can't believe this. You were my inspiration. When you rapped about the fall of the Berlin Wall, I was like, that is a man who is passionate about what he does.
The Berlin Wall. Have you ever seen the Berlin Wall?
No, because it fell.
convenient.
You said you had a job for me. Please tell me it's not as a grave digger. Okay, cool. I gotta go. I think I left my oven on, and my house is on fire, and also my whole life.
Wait! Things didn't work out for me, but you're a smart kid. You got out of this town. You're gonna make it big. I know it. You know, I used to tell my students about you. There's this kid, I'd say, who made up extra credit assignments because he loved to learn.
Oliver smiles.
I had 4 pictures of you on my desk.
Oliver's smile disappears.
I see a lot of myself in you, Brownie. Yeah, Brownie and I, especially. Son, may I call you son? Would you sign these adoption papers?
Cahill pulls a stack of papers out from the burlap sack.
To be clear, you're adopting me.
Exterior, Old Burial Hill Cemetery. Moments later, Oliver holds his phone to his ear.
Paige, it's Oliver. Oliver Moon. From yesterday. And high school?
Interior, Paige's office. Intercut. Paige smugly sips wine at her desk.
Good evening, Oliver.
You set me up.
Perhaps now you know how it feels to work your entire life for...
Oliver hangs up. He looks over and sees Charlotte in the distance sitting by her dad's grave. She says something that Oliver can't hear. It's the first time he's seen her smile. Interior, Moon living room. Later, Mr. Moon snores as Mrs. Moon watches Game of Thrones. Oliver sullenly walks by, and Mrs. Moon, without looking, holds up the check. Oliver takes it without stopping. Interior, Oliver's bedroom. Moments later, he slumps on his bed, pulls out his phone. He looks at a job site, then hits back on the browser. The Museum of History's website reloads, and Oliver sees his old picture.
Hit me.
Act 3. Interior, Museum of History's gift shop the next day. Charlotte tries to give the troops a pep talk.
Okay, we have 6 hours to fix this place before Karen Martin shows up. What's on the list?
Those stairs are still broken.
We're out of haunted air.
Daryl and Hannah came back to life.
That honestly just happened by itself.
She points to a small fire in the corner. Charlotte runs over, stamps it out.
This is never gonna work.
Yes, I am.
Reveal Oliver walking through the front doors.
Sorry, I couldn't hear what you said from outside. Hey guys, I wanted to apologize. Things didn't go my way, so I acted like a child. As a good friend once said, it wasn't the plan exactly, but whatever. Charlotte, do you remember saying that? Whatever. The point is, I'm sorry that I steamrolled you. Now, we have 6 hours to impress the Chamber of Commerce, and I think we can do it. Together.
Ellen's not going to go for this. She still won't let us prepare the computers for the Y2K bug.
Or get computers.
Tohm cranks the old-timey cash register and makes sound effects until the drawer opens. It's just a shoebox.
Don't worry, Ellen's taken care of.
Did you kill her?
Well...
Exterior coffee shop parking lot continuous. A hearse is parked in the middle of the lot. Ellen, not dead, walks up to the driver holding a latte.
Excuse me, you're blocking my car.
The driver rolls his window down. It's Cahill.
Sorry, ma'am. This is a hearse, and there's a funeral going on.
Where? I don't see anything.
There is no one in front or behind the hearse.
It would be gravely disrespectful to departed to start this engine. First rule of funeral code.
Inside the museum gift shop continuous.
Now, let's boom it for the Insta.
He holds up bags of cleaning supplies. Montage. Rosemary shows Tohm how the phone works. Oliver and Charlotte scrub mold, share a glance, and smile. Mabel enters, proudly carrying 3 fire extinguishers.
What's better than 1 fire extinguisher? 3 fire extinguishers.
Where did you get those?
Interior preschool flashback. Mabel, wearing a fire hat, struggles to hold 3 extinguishers as kids play in the background.
These aren't up to code. I'm gonna have to confiscate them.
Back to the gift shop.
Why do we need 3?
Rule of 3. Ever heard of it?
Oliver and Charlotte go through the museum with a binder, doing rewrites. Oliver removes a picture of Elvis. Frank and Rosemary release Daryl Hannah back into the wild. Tohm and Mabel practice extinguishing fires. Tohm tries to hit the fire with the extinguisher. Oliver can't take it. Mabel crisps creme brulees. Tohm repairs the stairs. Frank watches a female ghost in Revolutionary War garb as she cleans a musket. Outside, the gang looks up at the museum. The New England Museum of History's sign lands with a crash in front of them.
I think we need something shorter, more welcoming, something that leans into the quirkiness in a fun way. Something spelled correctly. What do you think?
They look up as two men on ladders attach a new sign to the building, the local haunt. Interior, Museum of History's gift shop later. The staff stands at attention. Everyone is dressed nicely. Oliver is in his old tour guide costume. Tohm is in a tuxedo. Rosemary wears a big feathery hat. Ellen storms in smoking.
A damn hearse blocked me into the Dunkin' Donuts parking lot. What are you still doing here, Oliver?
Ellen, I came back to fix up your museum, but I can help you.
Rules are rules. You're outside guy or you're nothing. Get lost, kid.
The doors open again. Karen Martin, 50s, an exuberant, aging yuppie with a clipboard, walks in and bows.
Karen, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Please.
Despite silence, she motions for people to stop clapping.
Hello, Ellen. And hello, members of the working class. I'm Karen Martin of the Chamber of Commerce and North Walchester Martins.
Mabel curtsies.
When I see your bright, shining smiles bursting with pride for this beautiful town, it reminds me of when I met my husband, Walter Martin, at a family reunion. He said to me, Karen, Walchester is the best town in the world.
Tohm and Rosemary exchanged looks. Oliver does some gene pool math as Ellen pinches the bridge of her nose.
We were brought together by our love for this town, and we at the Chamber of Commerce want to protect that love. From inadequate museums to immoral public dress codes to ethnic food shops. Shall we begin?
I think you'll find the improvements we've made recently. That's all. I think you'll find them.
Oliver opens the museum door. Karen walks in. Ellen follows.
I learned a lot about funeral code today.
Oliver gulps and walks in, closing the door behind him. A beat.
Wait, a family reunion?
Yep.
Tour room number 1, Pirates, continuous. Oliver hangs weirdly off a pirate mannequin.
Hello, I'm Captain Kidd, a famous pirate.
Tour room 2, Witches. Oliver kneels next to a mannequin being crushed by a large rock. Mannequins dressed as witches surround him.
He was crushed by sadness. And also this boulder.
Tour room 3, Revolutionary War. Oliver poses as Washington in a tableau of Washington crossing the Delaware. Ellen and Karen stare. A long beat.
Well, I hope that was enough time for you to take some pictures.
Tour room 4, Pagan Religions. Oliver stands in front of a giant pentagram.
Is Tupac Shakur really dead? Almost certainly.
Back in the gift shop, the gang waits tensely. Karen Martin exits the museum, followed by Ellen and Oliver. She goes to inspect the stairs.
Sound.
She swipes her finger across a glass counter.
Clean.
She counts the fire extinguishers.
Rule of 3. Very nice.
Mabel winks at Rosemary. Karen turns to the group.
The place looks great. No mold, very clean. Safety protocols look up to date. You all have done such a wonderful job.
Oh, they all sigh with relief.
That it's such a shame that you won't be making it into the guide.
What?
But we did everything.
And I'm so proud of you. Unfortunately, Paige Master over at the Essex Institute bought out the remaining space in the museum section of the guide.
As she walks out, she takes a creme brulee.
Oh, for me? How kind. Toodles.
She leaves. The gang is stunned. Ellen turns to Oliver.
Did you tell Paige about this inspection?
Me.
This can't be it.
Maybe she'll come back in and change her mind?
Karen comes back in. The gang is tense.
Do you have a spoon for this?
The air lets out of the room as Mabel hands over a spoon.
You dear.
She leaves again.
Ellen, can you do anything?
Ellen is on her phone.
Sorry, just trying to sell this lot as fast as humanly possible.
Well, we did everything we could.
I'm gonna need to finally graduate.
I'm sorry, guys. I thought this
Karen
was...
comes back in again, wide-eyed, eating the creme brulee.
Who made this?
I did.
It tastes a little burnt. My favorite. I simply adore it.
Really?
So is the museum back in the guide?
Oh no, still no room. That Paige has a lot of money. But if you can sell some of these treats, little lady, I can put you folks in the book as a restaurant.
A restaurant.
We'll take it.
Congratulations, the guide comes out next month. Ta-ta!
Karen leaves again. The gang cheers, high fives, hugs. Frank enters the gift shop, slow clapping.
You're welcome.
Frank, have I fired you recently?
You can't get rid of me. I'm common law married to the ghost in there.
He smiles and walks back into the museum. As the staff celebrates, Ellen turns to Oliver.
So you'll be sticking around then?
If that's okay with you.
I'll allow it.
A rare Ellen smirk is interrupted as a fire breaks out. Oliver smiles at the pandemonium and a familiar voice returns.
270 people left on Magellan's voyage around the world. After mutinies, disease, and general mismanagement, Juan Sebastian Elcano brought back 18 people. If I'm going to be the guy who came back home to no acclaim whatsoever, I hope I don't let as many people die.
Fade out.